Great. Welcome to Sacred Success Salon, where we are up-leveling conversation around success and diving deeply into what it means to step into your power, your purpose, and claim your prosperity. I am your hostess, Anna Kowalska, and today I am super excited to have this really juicy conversation with Lisa Marie Grantham. Lisa Marie is a business mentor, a lifestyle expert, a spiritual teacher. She teaches soul-centered women how to design an empowered, goddess-like lifestyle and prosperous online business they love. She's a founder of a Goddess Lifestyle Plan, the School of Magical Living. I love the name. She's an expert columnist for Aspire magazine for several years, international best-selling author and facilitator of a Goddess Lifestyle Sisterhood. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you so much. I'm really thrilled to be here. Really thrilled to have this conversation today.
Yes. Oh, as am I. Very, very important part of this conversation. And just to frame why I wanted to have this conversation with you, the work that you are now being a torchbearer for, which I think it's such an honor and it speaks so much to who you are, is part of the work that has been part of my journey, which is natural rhythms. So adding to all your accolades is now a teacher and a torchbearer for natural rhythms, a powerful work channeled by Lisa Michaels, which now you get to expand. So yeah, absolutely. And we just had a quick conversation about how much we love Lisa and how much of a contribution that body of work is. So yes. So let me start by asking you, what is your definition of success?
That is such a rich question. I think success, the definition of success has a few moving pieces for me. It is number one, living on purpose, living what you're stepping into who you're meant to be. That's a successful life. Creating your life in the vision that you see. I've always been a person who marched to their own drum, whether I was a child or an adult. I believe that blazing your own path in life, whatever that looks like for you, is the definition of success. Really, truly living a life experience that resonates deeply with who you are and what you desire. That's success. And for me, also, the definition of success is fulfilling my sacred contract or my purpose on this earth. It's a very divine aspect of it, but I feel I was placed here for a reason, and success for me means that I'm stepping into that, as scary as that seems to me at some time. Well, a lot of times, actually, if I'm going to be honest. It's scary a lot, but that's what success means to me.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yes. Thank you. It's very powerful. And I would love for you to talk more about, how do you know what your sacred path is? How did you figure it out? What was your journey with that?
Oh, goodness. Well, it became very obvious to me late in life. I coined myself the Goldilocks of careers, because what it looked like was I spent my first of all, I hated school, like traditional school.
Yep.
And I just always, like, things that didn't interest me bounced off my forehead. It was amazing. I remember in high school being called down to the guidance counselor, and the guidance counselor said, okay, 96 in earth science, 42 in social studies. What's going on there? And I said, well, I don't like social studies. I don't care about history. And he said, but you're obviously highly intelligent. You need to apply yourself. And my answer back then is, I don't want to apply myself to what I'm not interested in. That's what I mean about marching to my own drum. The conformity of having to learn what I didn't want to learn was very, very difficult for me to embrace. I'm stubborn that way. So once I got out of high school, I started to kind of expand and do higher learning in the things that interested me. And I'm a student of life. That's what I consider myself. And through this student of life attitude, I have collected like 1,000 certifications and knowledge in many different areas, all to do with the esoteric or spiritual or holistic realms. That's what interests me. And I considered myself the Goldilocks of careers because I, for example, got a certification in interior design because I love creating beautiful spaces. That's really important to me. And then I went all through interior design school, got of course, my degree in interior design years ago, and then did it for a while. And what I realized is, now that's not it. I love beautiful spaces, but I only want to really create them for myself and people I care about. So that was a no. And then I went to nutrition school, and I did it very selfishly to learn how to, grow old with grace. And then I worked as a holistic health coach for a while, and I love that. That's actually what introduced me to the coaching world in general, like the whole idea of coaching. And I figured, I don't want a health coach. That's not really what I'm meant to do. So, and then I went to yoga instructor school because I loved yoga, and yoga's so good for you. And then I got a certification as a registered yoga instructor. And then I taught yoga classes for a while, and I was like, no, that's not it. So I was like, everybody was like, what are you doing, you crazy person? And I just kept chugging on, following my bliss, following my interests. And finally, it all came together under a system that I created called Goddess Lifestyle Plan. Literally everything I learned all along my road came together under this beautiful brand. And that's when my eyes lit up and I said, that is it. That's what I'm meant to do, because the divine was setting me up to know what I needed to know in order to really help women in all key areas of their life. I'm able to help them design beautiful spaces in their own home, to stand up for who they are, because I forgot to mention that I was a chronic people pleaser my entire life. That's a personal thing, and I've overcome that. Health and nutrition is part of it, really nourishing your body temple and treating it with the reverence it deserves, right? So I was able to speak into it, and that's when it all finally came together, and I realized that's what I'm meant to do. That's what I'm meant to do. And as I built my own online business, I realized that that's what I'm meant to do, for sure. That's the evolution. That's how we came to where we are now. I had a number in my head it was a 6-figure number. I wanted to hit $100,000 in my business. And when I reached that, I said, I'm ready to coach other women. That was the number. That was when I said, I know what I'm talking about when I hit this. And when I hit it a few years ago, I said, okay, here we go. Because I really want to teach other women how to create a beautiful, profitable business that's totally them, that serves the world and helps them create their goddess lifestyle.
Yeah. Wow. I had no idea we had this much in common. This is amazing. Thank you for sharing. I went to school for interior design, and I was a holistic health coach. It was just part of the journey and the conversation, isn't it?
I know, but the more that I do this work, and I think I'm like this unicorn that only does, then my clients come to me and they're like, I hired you because you're a holistic health coach and you're a yoga instructor. And I should say also I'm a certified herbalist, Western herbalist. I did that for 2.5 years under Rosemary Gladstar, which is she's the be all and end all of herbalism as far as I'm concerned in the Western world. And all these things interested me so much, but there are so many women out there that are multi-passionate. And that's really, those are my peeps, the multi-passionate women.
Yes, putting it all together, figuring it out. How do I fit into this world that makes you want to fit in with something when you are so multifaceted? Yes. Yeah, that's amazing. Oh, I love that. Oh, I have a whole other conversation that I want to have with you now. Great. So how do you, I know that using nature, using the rhythms, I know you do full moon and new moon cycle, you use all of that in your work. How do you use it in guiding, in first of all, knowing how to follow your path, and then how do you use it in guiding others into creating what it is they are here to create?
Great question. Well, women are cyclical creatures. We were designed that way. Mm-hmm. And I feel as if mainstream human have kind of disconnected from those natural rhythms, right? Mm-hmm. And what I know for sure is that when we follow nature and the teachings of nature, it is literally the most effective personal development system that you can find. Mm-hmm. So new moon is all about planting the seeds for what you want to cultivate within yourself or within your life, that lunar cycle.
Mhm.
Full moon is when it's the moon and the energies that she's at her pinnacle, like of power. It's like the go for it time. And then of course those 2 weeks until dark moon and new moon again, it's all about releasing what no longer serves. So when you tap into those natural rhythms, the moon, the lunar rhythms, you are able to call in and release what no longer serves on a monthly basis. To me, that's micro. Then you look at the seasons. Spring is all about planting the seeds of what you want to grow and cultivate
Mhm.
that year, that growing cycle. Then, of course, summer is that full moon time of going for it.
Mhm.
And then, of course, autumn or fall is about releasing what no longer serves. It's like that waning time. And then winter is dark moon. You go inward and you like have introspective thought about what you want to call in again, and that's on the macro level. So when you're following natural cycles and the rhythms, the natural rhythms that are around us, you're doing it on a micro and a macro level. I'll tell you what, I don't remember the last time I had a New Year's resolution. I don't need them. I do them year round. I'm constantly calling in and releasing, calling in and releasing.
That's so powerful. Thank you for saying it exactly the way you just did. Because there is definitely this connection that I believe a lot of us have to, I just get to do it once a year. And it becomes so precious, right? That we self-sabotage or don't ask for enough or ask for too much or or expect really truly impossible. And I know nothing is impossible, but so
Yeah, I agree with that, but we have to set ourselves up for
yes.
success as well. As women, we are so busy doing so many things. We have how many balls in the air at one time, right? We're caring for our loved ones in our community, in our work, and you know what? Once a year, trying to change what we're doing is a lot of pressure when we're trying to keep all those balls in the air. Something has to drop. And
Mhm.
no woman, no conscious woman wants to drop a ball. So it's a tremendous amount of pressure. So I believe it might be my Virgo practicality. I love the idea of doing it a little bit steadily throughout the year.
Yes, yes. And I love that you used word practicality, because now I would like to ask you, we are merging practicality and this very solid physical world with this sacred part of us, right? And sacred part of universe. So could you give us a quick idea on how to, I'll ask you about rituals in the next question, but just how to honor the new moon and full moon cycles. And I know you do a ceremony. I've actually watched in your group one of the ceremony you've done. So there is a big way to do it, big way. But what's like the simplest ways that somebody who is just kind of stepping into recognizing cycles could honor very quickly? They realize new full moon is tomorrow, right? As we're recording it. What's the like very quick 5-minute thing somebody could do to honor that cycle?
Mm-hmm. Well, for full moon, it's really about calling in what it is you want, your heartfelt desires. And for me, the simplest ritual is just to sit with your desires. Just to sit, light a candle, take a ritual bath if you'd like. And a ritual bath sounds like a big, huge thing, but it could be as simple as, and one of my favorite ritual baths is using some uh, salt in the bath, whether it's Epsom salt or dead sea salt or whatever feels good, sea salt. Then sometimes if I'm feeling it, I'll throw in a little dried herbs or even some in this. Well, now I live in a tropical area, but I spent my entire life up in New York. So I had to wait, to have flowers in my garden. But sometimes you can just pluck a few flowers, throw those petals in, and I'll throw in some clear quartz to magnify all the energies right in the tub.
Mm-hmm.
And you get in and you just wash a couple of candles. One of the things about, I think, living a beautiful life is really taking the time to make the simple things a ceremony. Life is a ceremony, right? And we could get very caught into the mundane. And it's just as simple as taking a few ingredients, throwing them in the tub, lighting a candle, and just shutting the door if you have young ones, and just saying, you know what? I'm taking 20 minutes. Don't bother me. I used to have a thing I told my kids when they were young. I used to say, do not bother me unless there's blood. They knew that. Do not, if you shut that door, do not bother me unless there's blood. Figure it out. And just take that little bit of time for yourself. And as you sit and soak, just really concentrate on your desires, your heartfelt desires. And give yourself permission to have those desires. We love to just, it's too lofty, it's too much. I should be so thankful for what I have. Yes, that's true. But guess what? We can want as much as we want. This is an abundant universe. The divine is abundant and they want us to be abundant. You know, the divine wants us to all live in abundance. So wish for it, and think about what are the ways I can step into that woman, step into those desires? Who do I need to be? Because the how isn't really the question, because the how shows itself, right? But when I think about what it is I desire, it's who do I need to be in order to have that? Who do I need to be? And it could be a little simple bath. Usually afterwards, I'll take some time to mindfully dry myself, maybe put on some lotion, light a candle, sit under the full moon if you can, and just really think about, what do I want? What do I really want? And allow yourself that permission to want big.
Yeah, that's beautiful. There are so many nuggets you just dropped in that one share. There's so many golden nuggets. And yeah, who do I want to be, right? Yeah, in the world. Yeah. So let me ask you this. This is just a question that wants to be asked. Because you are a goddess, you come through a work that's very, and you were Virgo, so you're very connected to the universe. How do you ask for more? You live a beautiful life, right? You already live a beautiful life. How do you ask for more when there is so much in the world that's happening, that's just unjust? How do you make it, I guess, okay to ask for more?
Great question.
Mm-hmm.
There's a worthiness that I need to work on like any other human being. There really is. There's the honest answer there, that sometimes I think, who am I? But then I remind myself, who am I? You know, there's practical things I do to remind myself, who am I? Like I read my testimonials from my clients. Sometimes if I'm doubting my worthiness in my work or whatever, because I'm a human being and I'm not walking around thinking I am like the be all and end all of everything. You know, if I have those moments, I'll just sit and I'll read my testimonials. I have my Virgo-ness is coming out. I have a folder, and I keep every beautiful thing someone has ever said to me in the last 10 years in that folder. And when I need a little pick me up and a little, I guess, affirmation of my work and my worthiness in this world with my work, I take a look at that. So that's the practical aspects of it. On the other side of that is I know 100% that the more successful I am, the more women I can touch and help, and the more money I'll have to donate to the causes that matter to me. So there is the absolute that if I make I know who I am. And I heard years ago something that really stuck with me, and I cannot remember who said it, but I heard it and it was just like, bing, it stuck in my head forever. And it said, money just makes you more of who you are. It doesn't make you bad. It makes you more of who you are. And who I am is someone who wants to help and serve. So the more money I have, the more money will go out to help those that the causes that matter to me.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. And it ties back into keeping asking yourself, who am I? Who am I? Right? Because the more you step into it, then the more you get to be then amplified by the money that flows. Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's so powerful. Thank you for sharing that. That's really, really rich. I love that. So let me ask you another question about going back to rituals. Do you have any rituals that you do? There is new moon and full moon. How else do you use rituals in your business and your prosperous, purposeful life to constantly expand?
Yes, great question. There is something I do that I started doing years ago that has literally transformed everything in a way that it made everything so matter. It puts everything in perspective on a daily basis. Ritual is something you do over and over. Ritual versus habitual, but after a while, ritual can become very habitual. It's something you do every day. And something I do every day is when I come into my office with my coffee. I mean, I literally have a very simple morning ritual. Get up out of bed, do my, brushing teeth and all that jazz, get my coffee. Maybe I'll sit 3 minutes or 5 minutes with my husband. Then I come into my office here and I immediately light a candle. And my prayer every day is just show me, lead me, use me for the best, the best to give rise to the world in the best way that you see fit for me today. I literally surrender my life, my day to source. Use me. And that has transformed everything for me, because it's not about me. It's about being used for something, you know, the divine comes through me, through my work. And that's how I view it. It's not Lisa, it's my purpose. So I give my life over every day to my purpose.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So I just heard two things there. One, something that I truly subscribe to. It has to be bigger than you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Do you want to speak to that for a minute before I go into the second part?
Yes, because that's a biggie. I've quit my business about 1,000 times since I started. At least 1,000 times, maybe like 300 in the last year. Because
I love it.
every time you get to a level, it's and the higher the level is, the more wow. So I quit my business a lot, and then I always give myself just a half a day to lick my wounds. And sure enough, that next morning I get up, I get my coffee, and I walk in and light that candle, because it's not about me. It's bigger than me. It's what I'm meant to do. It's what I'm meant to do. I was born to do this. Every single shitty experience, great experience, everything I've learned, everything I've been through has led me to this place to be of service to the women I'm meant to serve, to the work I'm meant to do in the world. That is what I attach myself to. Not at first sometimes, because I'm human, right? Sometimes I'm like, forget it, I'll just go get a job. I tell my husband I'm gonna go get a job at Chico's. It's much easier. Yeah, he's like, okay, today you'll go to work at Chico's. It's okay. And the next morning I'm back at it again. And because it's bigger than me. It's not me, it's bigger than me. And that is what you need. Whether it's for your children, to give something, or a life experience to your children, or private school to your children, whatever the big why is, it's just not for Lisa. It's bigger than Lisa.
Yeah. And that's what keeps you coming back to lighting your candle and asking, use me. Yeah. Yeah. Do you find that so there is this idea that I hear from a lot of clients, that there is this like purpose that's kind of static, right? Has been your experience with the work that you are here to do, which you keep referencing so beautifully, that thing that you are here to do, that bigger outside of Lisa thing? What's your experience with that being evolving, and has it?
Yes, it has evolved. When I first started my business, I thought that I wanted to I wanted to serve the women I was meant to serve, but I wasn't. My ideal client back then, 10 years ago, is not my ideal client right now. It's evolved.
Uh-huh.
So it's always been a woman who's ready, but it might be ready for her to transform her life or create her goddess life. And now it's a woman who wants to create, use her gift, skills, and talents and create what I call a lifestyle brand, and create this beautiful life for herself, but also give rise to the world. That's really my ideal client right now. She is ready, and she's ready. So she's probably like me, multi-passionate as well. I work with tremendous amount of multi-passionate women that are like, I don't even know how to put all this together. This is crazy. But I'm gifted with that. That's really my strong suit. Like, okay, how can we, and I create these brands that are very unique to my ideal client, and they go out there and do great things. But maybe when you're looking quickly, it looks like all the things they know and are skillful or talented at, or they're gifted with, doesn't make any sense together. I make sense of it somehow, and we make sense of it together. And that's just the way that I was created, to see it that way. But back when I started, I just wanted to be home with my children. I wanted to be able to go and be school mom or class mom, or go to this and go to that. And I wanted to be able to help my clients at the time create a life that felt great to them. A life coach. I started really as a life coach and a health coach, right?
Yeah.
I went to IIN, and I don't know if you went to IIN too.
Yes.
So it's about, it's not so much what you're eating, it's what's eating you, or what's lacking in your life that's causing you to eat. That's really when I got, I like this life coaching thing. I get that,
Yeah.
So I segued out of that. And as I spoke with the women of my community over the years, I realized that most of them said, I want to work with you, Lisa, but I don't have money. I don't have money. And I want to leave this toxic marriage, or this really soul-sucking job, and I can't. I don't have money. And then I got this burning desire. I want to teach women how to take what's inside of them already and monetize it, making the world a better place and giving them choices. Like it is so important for women to have choices to leave or remove themselves from something that's toxic for them. So I know I've worked with hundreds of women where everything they needed to monetize something to get themselves out of that shit situation was already within them. They didn't need to learn anything new. They didn't need to do anything else. They just needed to be them and shine their light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing to say to your clients when they first start working with you and they do stand in front of this, like, how is this ever? I don't even understand what choice means, right? Because I've lived a life whether they build a business or whether they've had a career in a corporate world, they've lived a should.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing to say to them as you start?
Yeah, as I start, I kind of tap into my own story and I tell them it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. That's my favorite thing to tell them, because the truth is it's not easy. It's not easy to create your life and your vision. You come up against all of your limiting beliefs, all of your fears, it's a muckety muck place. But you know what? Fear and excitement is the same energy in the brain, and we could just flip it and say, this is very exciting. As a matter of fact, that's what I work a lot with mindset, because I grew up very fearful. I was raised by fearful parents. Everything, they were like, oh my God, what if that happens? And what if this happens? And what if that happens? So now I'm just like, wow, this is very exciting. You know, you reframe it, and I just tell them it's possible. You know, my story a lot, you know, which is a very long story where I've had a lot of things take me out. And if I could do it, you could do it. Grab my hand. We're going into the fire together. That's my favorite thing to say. We're going into that fire together, you and me. I'm a fire walker at this point. I did mine. Yours was a piece of cake. I got you.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so beautiful. Because I do believe that that's something that helps us move forward when somebody says, you don't have to believe 100%. Let me believe in you 100%. You do your part. You have to do your part. Lean on me until you can stand.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Borrow my belief right now.
Yes.
Borrow my belief, because I believe in you. I believe in you. Borrow it. Lean on it. Lean on me. Borrow my belief in you. Let's go.
Oh, that's so powerful. I love that. Yeah. So let me ask you another question that something that I saw about your work that really speaks to the topic that we are talking about, personal power, because that's choice, right? Having a choice, knowing that you have a choice, stepping into your personal power. And the way you speak about it is stepping into personal power, utilizing natural elements of fire, water, air, earth,
Spirit.
I'm like, I know there's a fifth one. What's the fifth one? Duh.
I knew you knew. I do that too when I'm like, where'd that go? I had the thought. It's gone. Yes,
Yeah.
we're made up of all the elements. We're plugged in already.
So how do you utilize that? Because then I feel like it goes hand in hand with you being borrow that belief from me. See me as believing in you and using it to strengthen you. How does that play together, or not at all, with utilizing the natural elements, with then standing in your personal power to get up when we fall down? Because like you said, it's not an easy journey, and you quit 1,000 times.
At least.
Yeah.
When I'm in a deep project on something, I quit almost daily. But yeah, that's it. Job at Walmart as a Walmart greeter. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just I want something easy and simple. You know, that's the thing. It's just, but that's not my path. I'm not meant to have that. But sometimes I wish that was my path. Right? There's this saying that God doesn't call on the qualified, qualifies the cold. And I feel it almost on a daily basis.
Say that again.
There's a saying that I've heard, and it's God does not call on the qualified. God qualifies the cold.
Wow.
It's powerful, right? And you can just put in whatever you feel, goddess or whatever, but I got the call. And I just can't unhear it. Yeah. I want to unhear it sometimes because I'm human. And you know what, I'm like, this is hard. Yeah, it's hard. but it's worth it.
How did you know you were called?
Because nothing made me feel complete. My work makes me feel complete. And this took me years to be able to say out loud without shame, but I'm going to say it. Being a mother didn't fulfill me.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I still sometimes feel like that because I'm ready for people to judge, I love my children. I have 3 children. I love them, love them, love them. I thought that was what I was meant to do and be a great mother, and it wasn't enough. So right there, it just wasn't. I did not feel complete. My work makes me feel complete. I have children and my work and my beautiful husband, and I feel complete.
Yeah, and it's all important.
It's so important, and owning that. But it took me years to not cringe when I said it, but it's just my truth. It's just my truth. So that's how I knew. I had 3 children and I love them to pieces, and I felt like there's more here. There's more. What the hell is it?
Mm-hmm.
But there's more. I don't know what it is, maybe, but there's more. I'm not complete. I don't feel complete.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, that's beautiful. What's next for you? Your next evolution?
Yeah. So I have this huge, I believe very much in women collaborating. It is my dream in my heart. And I've started creating my own world where women support each other. That was what I decided, even though that wasn't my story. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of wounding with girls growing up, a lot of bullying done on me for very ridiculous reasons. Like, at 16, a boy liked me instead of this cool girl in the cool crowd. And it was like a lynching mob on me. So I had a lot of wounds around girls, which then of course we perpetuate that. And I called in relationships with women that also perpetuated that belief in me, And I decided one day, and I was midway into my career already, that until I really, really healed my wound around women, mm-hmm. my feminine wound, that I would never really be healed. Mm-hmm. So that is when I birthed the Goddess Lifestyle Sisterhood. And my intention was to create a sacred space, a container where women can come together and truly, no cattiness, no throwing under the bus, love, support. And I've literally created this world for myself. I have created, I have colleagues that are my dearest friends, and I have this world of women where we support each other. So that is my biggest dream. So my next, the vision for my next step is the School of Magical Living, which is birth. But my vision for School of Magical Living is, I know that not every woman can spend 10 years building a brand like I did, but there's so much wisdom out there. Mm-hmm. So School of Magical Living is going to be an online platform where I'm going to start helping women share their gift, skills, and talents within programs and sell them on School of Magical Living. So a woman anywhere in the world could go and access the support or the teachings they need.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yes, especially where we are right now in the world, and making it accessible to women anywhere, right? Yeah.
On all topics of life. Even though I've gone through nutrition school, I don't consider myself, a nutritionist or, that's not what I specialize in. I specialize in creating business. Mm-hmm. So I'd love to start gathering, cleanses and this and that with these beautiful, talented women that have so much wisdom to share, but not the platform, the online platform to share the work. And I want to share this work so that it could bless women's lives everywhere, that they're the instructor's life and the women that purchase the programs.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. And it's so abundant.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it. And it's women supporting women. I love it. It jazzes me.
Yeah, that's amazing. Oh, beautiful. So you have a gift for our viewers, which thrills me. Could you please share what it is?
I can. It's called Create Sacred Space and Activate Life Magic. As I shared with you, every day begins with just giving my day over to the divine. It doesn't matter whether you're in you have an online business model, a regular business model, no business model. When you start your day just saying, use me in the way that you see fit to make this world a better place, there is magic in that. And sometimes I pray, take my worry, take my fear, and help and just kind of alchemize it into something to be useful. Because we know fear and worry, it's not helpful. It's not a helpful vibration. Just take it from me. Let me hand it over to you, my worry, my fear, and use me to be a force of good in the world. So this workbook kind of walks you through how you create sacred space in or outside your home, because outside in nature, you could create these beautiful altars and sacred spaces, and how to begin activating that life magic, because something really, really beautiful happens when you start every day, really in devotion and just surrender.
Right, right. And it's regardless of what you believe, and it's just giving yourself over in some magical way to something that's a lot more powerful than we are.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where it doesn't matter. See, that to me, I consider myself a spiritual eclectic. I truly find beauty in all different belief systems. And, I also teach in a way that take what feels good to your soul, because your soul is your compass, right? It tells you. And just take what feels good to you and leave the rest. Take what
Yeah.
feels good to you and leave the rest.
Yeah. And I see your gift as such a beautiful way for those people who maybe just are getting just recognizing that there is something bigger than them, and just maybe learning, like, well, what's intuition, how do I connect, right? Which I know our viewers, many maybe farther ahead, but I know many are just learning, like, okay, what does it mean now? And your gift, it's such a beautiful way to very simply every day, in wherever you are, start having that connection and that sacred space where it's you connecting to whatever you believe, spirit, divine, right? Goddess. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love it. It's so generous. Thank you. There is a link under this video where you can go and download this beautiful gift from Lisa and start using it every day. Even if you already have a practice, add it to it, because it's so powerful, and it does create magic.
It
Yeah.
does. I promise you that. It does.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some days are going to be better than others, and you just get into that beautiful space of just surrender and just being used for something good and positive, and it's a beautiful way to start every day. It really switches the vibration, it raises it, and that's all good stuff.
Yeah, oh, I just got that in my body. It was beautiful. Thank you. So how can our viewers find you, other than the gift that we are sharing with them? If they wanted to learn more, how can they find you?
Sure. Well, you can find me right now at schoolofmagicalliving.com. But actually today, I think my team just made live lisamarieGrantham.com.
Oh, beautiful. Perfect. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Really proud of it. Really proud of it.
Yeah, awesome. So I have two-part question before we part ways. Thank you so much for everything you've shared. Your wisdom was at the same time very powerful and so practical, as I knew a Virgo would share.
I know I do live up to my Virgo, my sun sign for sure.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. Thank you. All right. So here's my question for you, Lisa. What would you want to say, you now want to say to yourself 5 years ago?
That's a good one. What would I want to say to myself 5 years ago? It's going to happen. It's all going to happen.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, are you ready for the next part? I love that. That's powerful, right? Yeah, it's going to happen. Just know it's going to happen. Yeah. Yeah. What would you want your future self from 5 years forward tell you now?
Holy crap, it's even better than you thought. Even better than you wished for.
I love it. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that, because we always go right in between our future or past and just seeing who we get to be. So that's beautiful. Yay. Thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you for letting me put you on a spot with that question. Magic.
Thank you.
Yeah, magic comes through that. Thank you so much for being here and sharing. Thank you, everybody, for being part of this conversation and sharing inner wisdom, absorbing it. Go grab the gift from Lisa. It's amazing. I've already played with it. It's powerful. It's going to bring magic into your life. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Bye for now.